This video will reveal the story of how I proposed to my fiance Casey last year during the 2019 Cherry Blossom Festival in Japan. Without a doubt, this is probably the top question that we get from individuals, and if I were to describe my approach in 3 not so simple steps, it went something like this. Bought a ring, found a local photographer, and practiced what I was gonna say to her parents, and the day of. Context. I'll be honest, at first I was a little bit reluctant to go just because the flight prices were so high and it was during the peak season, but the more I thought about it, I realized Casey has always loved Japanese culture, and this was our first international trip together. That, and we also adopt a system when we travel. So she takes the swan dive into everything related to our trip, whether it's the food, activities, housing, travel blogs, YouTube channels, podcasts. I track the expenses, I map everything. Why, you ask? Well, because it looks nice, and more importantly, if for whatever reason we go missing, there is a clear trail of breadcrumbs on where to find us. The point is this: if there was ever a perfect opportunity to propose, this was it. With those things in mind, I will try to narrow it down as best I can. Number 1, buying a ring. Wow, I could probably spend more time than I have right now to explain my approach, the resources that I used, how I got the ring size, where I hid the ring the whole time while we were traveling, but I will condense it to this. I bought it online. It was insured before we left, and it was on sale. Number 2, capturing the moment on camera. This one seemed simple enough with one exception. The popular travel photography websites have a menu of options. There's 4 to 5 options, and one of them says, I want to capture my surprise proposal. A person's imagination runs wild when they're planning something like a proposal to their significant other, and I eventually found a local Japanese photographer with inconspicuous credentials that aligned with our detailed itinerary. Had it all figured out. Time, place, the day of. Things went a little bit differently than planned, but it worked out. Thankfully, the photographer, her name is Miyuki, and she was amazing, and I can't thank her enough for capturing that moment on camera. Number 3, figuring out what I was going to say. So before we left, I was able to speak with her parents privately, answered any questions that they had a PowerPoint presentation and everything. It was beautiful. And also with the siblings, just to give them a heads up, and they did a great job not spilling the beans to her, so I definitely appreciate that. So there we were in a grove of cherry blossoms. The photographer was holding my jacket. I made sure to put the ring in that pocket because I was concerned that beforehand, if Casey were to reach over and feel a bulge in my pocket shaped like a ring box, she might get the hint. So up until the very moment, the code phrase between me and the photographer was this: Michael, do you want to put on your jacket? And that was the cue that it's going down. And jacket's on. I have her face me and I say, so I talked to your parents. I said, I love your daughter, Casey. Not Amanda, Casey. To me, she is perfect in every way, and I want to spend the rest of my life with her. My parents and siblings already consider her family, and I would be humbled if one day you could think of me as part of yours. And eventually they said yes, so here we are. And I can share the bonus content of what happened 2 days after in a later video. It was the first time that our families actually came together and met for the first time, and that was the second half of the surprise. So if you guys want to see that, let me know. I'll see you later.